Give yourself the grace that you give others. Forgive yourself. Please forgive yourself for the many times that you failed yourself. Forgive yourself so that you can stand up to your accusers, those who want to remind you of the many times you failed yourself and your generation. See, many have walked the path they thought was good for them, but the end thereof was filled with chaos, pain, daily struggle, and failure. I understand that your family may have warned you beforehand about the path you chose, but you felt you got your life on track. Friends might have pointed out that you are heading in the wrong direction, but you went right on like you are deaf. I understand that you are now facing the consequences of those warnings you failed to heed. I know and understand all this. What you are feeling is shame, and shame is a normal feeling. It is a feeling that says, I know that I messed up now. If you understand that you messed up, then get up and look for a solution. Do not wallow in misery. Misery destroys you, and misery opens you up for self-destruction. Misery does two things to a person who is trying to recover from shame. 1. It makes you question your self-worth and your ability to make a good decision for yourself, and what comes after is self-hate and depression. It sends you into the bottomless pit of depression. I will give you an example. I have counseled a lady who married a man that she is not compatible with, and after a few years, they divorced to be fair to both parties. The marriage was chaotic, and it is only fair that both parties went their separate ways. But this lady went on a self-sabotage. Instead of forgiving herself, she replayed every mistake. I should have said this, I should have done that, if only I had tried harder. She created 100 alternate endings in her mind, but none of them changed reality. Eventually, she became depressed. She lost her motivation. She lost her productivity. She lost her job. And then she began using harmful substances just to numb the pain. All because she could not say 3 powerful words to herself. I forgive you. If she had accepted that she is human, if she had understood that mistakes are part of growth, if she had chosen reflection instead of self-punishment, she might have healed sooner. And this brings me to something important. There are powerful reasons why you must forgive yourself. First, because you are human. Every human being makes mistakes. No one has lived a flawless life. Growth does not come from perfection. It comes from correction. Second, because shame is meant to teach, not destroy. Shame is a classroom, not a prison. It is there to guide you into better decisions, not trap you in self-condemnation. Sad. Because self-hatred blocks growth, you cannot heal while attacking yourself daily. You cannot build while tearing yourself down internally. Fourth, because you deserve the same grace you give others. You forgive your friends. You understand your siblings. You show compassion to strangers. Why are you the only one you refuse to show mercy to? Fifth, because holding on to guilt damages your mental health. Unresolved guilt turns into anxiety. It turns into depression. It turns into low self-esteem and self-sabotage. Sixth, because you cannot change the past. No amount of replaying yesterday will rewrite it. But forgiveness gives you power over tomorrow. Seventh, because you made decisions with the knowledge you had at the time. If you had known better, you would have done better. Growth means you are wiser now, not worthless then. Eighth, because misery makes you vulnerable. And that is the second destructive thing misery does. When you remain stuck in regret, you begin seeking validation from others. You become emotionally exposed. And let us be honest, the world is not always kind to vulnerable people. People will say, "I warned you, you never listen, this is why you always fail." Some will take pride in reminding you of your mistakes. But hear me carefully, you do not have to hand people the weapon they use against you. When you forgive yourself, you stand upright. When you forgive yourself, you regain dignity. When you forgive yourself, criticism loses its power. There is a story about a son who squandered his inheritance. He made reckless decisions. He lost everything. When reality hit him, he returned home humbled and ashamed. That was vulnerability at its peak. And while his father welcomed him with compassion, his brother judged him harshly. That story reflects human nature. Some people will always remember your past louder than your growth. If you remain miserable, you empower their judgment. But if you forgive yourself, you silence it. Because self-forgiveness builds resilience. It teaches you how to fall without losing your identity. It teaches you how to fail without losing your worth. It teaches you how to start again without shame controlling the narrative. And let me say this clearly. Your mistake does not reduce your value. You are not your worst decision. You are not your lowest moment. You are not your past. Growth requires release. You cannot carry yesterday's shame and step confidently into tomorrow. At some point, you must say, "Yes, I did it. Yes, I was wrong. Yes, I learned. And now I am moving forward." See yourself the way a loving parent sees a child. When a child makes a mistake, a good parent does not shame them every day. They correct them. They teach the lesson. They forgive them. They continue loving them. Be that parent to yourself. Stop beating yourself emotionally. Stop reopening healed wounds. Stop narrating your life through regret. Instead, speak life to yourself. Look in the mirror and say, "I forgive you. If you had known better, you would have done better. But now you know better, so you will do better." That is maturity. That is strength. That is healing. Forgiveness is not pretending you were right. It is acknowledging you were wrong and choosing not to destroy yourself over it. So today, I urge you, release the shame. Release the misery. Release the self-hatred. Learn the lesson. Take responsibility. Ent Venri. Because your future still needs you. Your purpose still calls you. Your life is not over because you made a mistake. Forgive yourself and rise again.